Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel for your regularly scheduled programming. We are back live to talk about whatever you guys want to, but it looks like we might get that little bounce here tomorrow. As far as the futures are concerned, let's go ahead and pull up the good old futures. Pretty volatile for futures, but NASDAQ is up about 0.5% currently, so not looking all too shabby. Heading into important earnings. There we go. Jennifer Hendricks, Chris, Win Lambo, Ugans, Xanax, Bet, Brandy, Yo, White. What is going on? Your comment was so... Dude, your comment was so funny. Oh, man. I like literally laughed out loud at that. And I hate to say that, but good news, and we went crazy. Oh, yeah, Mullen. Yeah, there really wasn't any news from what I seen. Let's go ahead and pull up Mullen's Twitter. I seen earlier that they shared a picture, and that was pretty much it. 6 hours ago, big news, Mullen Automotive is bringing battery pack production in-house. Efforts underway to retrofit Mullen's high-voltage R&D facility in Monrovia, California, to begin production of battery packs to support Mullen EVs. Now, this is the picture that I seen, and that must have been last night that I looked at that. I did not see this tweet. And what I could say from this statement with Mullen, you know, when you're talking about bringing production in-house, you're going to take on a substantial amount of cost. So what the shareholders are basically pricing and what the markets are pricing in is you're going to get dilution, right? That they're going to issue more stock. Now, the fact that we fell today, you know, like 13%, I believe, is kind of pricing that in. So I don't think it would be as bad once that dilution actually does come. But that's kind of first glance what it looks like is the reason for that one. But yeah, futures, NASDAQ up 0.41%. It is very volatile though. We have Netflix earnings. Thought you would like that one. Yeah, that was a great comment. What is up, Cheese Chaser? Let's go, baby. T-Sub, what's up, dude? We are in there like swimwear. Hello, Tyler and Ling Ling and family. I hope you had a great Easter. Now let's get to business. Stock it to me, Tyler. Oh, I'm ready. You came to the right place. I bought Mullen on the dip today. I will always buy the dip and average down. There you go. Gotta appreciate it. Yeah, just keep holding. Yeah. As far as AMC, I hope you guys seen the videos earlier because, wow. I mean, if you're talking about unusual option activity, it's definitely what we've seen today in AMC. There's no way to deny that. You did see some last minute puts that came through right here. 2 of them, I would imagine likely a hedge to some of these other trades. But $55,000 for a July 15th $14 put, and then a July 15th $18 put for $62,000. Other than that, look at these dollar amounts and this activity. It's kind of crazy. January 2023 $10 call for $308,000. 353,000, 400,000. These are all single orders that just went in at the same time. 73,000, 27,000, 1.06 million. That's a very large order. 57,000, 400,000, 190,000, 138,000, 28,000, and then you do get into more yesterday activity, and you do see some larger orders. This was actually from today. Some larger put orders as well. Likely some hedges. Is this today? No, I think that was on Thursday. But yeah, a lot of weird option activity, just very large amounts. Like you can see 25 orders totaling $82.71 million. So there was almost as much option activity today as we have seen in all of last week. For one day, that's kind of interesting. We'll just call it that, to say the least. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe not. Maybe they know something that we don't. We could speculate on that, but $1 million and $25 strike. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and it's for like the June expiration. I believe is the $1 million trade, and that's just one order going through for June 17th. $22 call. $1.76 a contract, so the break even's $23.76 per share. That's a pretty substantial move from here. What is that? If we go ahead and pull up the calendar or the calculator, what's the share price at? 17 divided by 23.76. Yeah, so what is that, like a 27% move from here just to break even? Just to break even, a 27% move in the next 2 months. That's decent. That's a decent trade. You know, on anything else, you'd be kind of crazy. AMC can move that though in a 2-3 day period, or even a day, 1 day. I mean, what up, Tyler? How do you feel about the low volume for AMC today? Bullish sign? Yes, low volume is always, and I want to be careful with the wording here because, not everybody fully understands exactly what I say. But low volume is bullish when you're looking at AMC, because low volume heads into high volume. Low volume equals usually less volatility and less people that are obviously going out and buying the stock. Now, when people rush back into the stock, you could see big rallies. And specifically what I like to watch for on potential momentum trades, in general, not saying AMC's like potentially we're ever going to get momentum, because we obviously are, but I really want to see when low volume starts, where do we hold up at? And we're obviously holding up a lot higher in the $17.50 range than we did in the $13 range last time we had this low volume. So I think it's definitely a good sign. Once higher volume comes in, then you will see the price going up. That's typically how it works. I really appreciate your videos, and Tyler, it gives me something to watch because I don't watch TV. I don't do nothing but watch my stocks. There we go, baby. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Holder of the shares. Holding it down with the green name. A member. Yes, yes. And we never advertise it. That is simply because he wants to support the journey here and learn some good old financial education. Wants to get into the trades and all that. So it's good. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I don't want to butcher your name. Liana Garbin, might be wrong in that. Thoughts on the short interest having to drop a bit for the next leg up? I don't necessarily think that's the case. I don't know if somebody else said that, but usually what I like to pay attention to is specifically the volume and where we do hold up, like we just talked about. And then with the market environment the way it is, unless we get a huge bullish catalyst like the Fed reverses course and they say, hey, we're not going to raise as much as you guys thought, that's going to be a bullish sign for everything, right? So that could cause the next leg up. But besides that, you really need catalysts. So I don't really think it has much to do with the Ortex data giving us a sign or something to look for the next leg up, but more so when a catalyst comes. And then these technical levels are important too. Like if the stock does break above the 50-day moving average, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, that's going to be very, very bullish. And you could see just algorithmic trading programs that bid up the stock. The thing that I like to watch the most for the next rally, and if you are subscribed to the channel, I talk about this every single day, is the option flow activity. Because these guys, they know more people than we do. They talk and they know when things are going to move. That's why around like Warren Buffett buying Activision or hundreds of other examples that I could tell you guys right now, you will see weird option activity heading into those events. So to see something so different, you never see this kind of option activity, especially on a red day like today, for AMC. So that's really what I like to pay attention to. Obviously the volume, the price action, and where we hold up, because if you get that low volume, high volume price spikes, and then you come straight back down and hit a new lower low, that's obviously not a good thing, unless the market just crashes. If the market crashes, there's nothing that AMC could do. It's going to follow that trend. I don't really think that is going to happen, but short interest, I don't look at that too much to like predict or give any kind of clues of what's going to happen, if that makes sense. The short interest has only estimated to drop about 0.5%, and we're pretty much at the settlement date for March 31st. Short interest read at 19.68%. Ortex is kind of I don't know what you'd call them, clueless on some of their estimates. They're usually off by 1% or 2%, so it wouldn't surprise me to see that short interest still at 20.5% or around where our average has been during this volatility. Hopefully that answered the question, and I did not butcher the name. Let's go, baby. We are in there. Not butchering names. Thank you. Hit the like button. Yes, don't short the like button. I heard people just short the like button. It's real sad. You think they drop the milli just retail goes hard on calls, so market maker can collect premium? Just a thought. Probably not. Why I say that is because a lot of the option activity that you see is even done by hedge funds. Like, look at some of these amounts of contracts that they're buying. Like that $1 million option was 6,000 for the size there. So and market makers, like we've talked about this. It was a while ago, but the two really main market makers that provide liquidity to the broad markets, to like the New York Stock Exchange, S&P, Dow, all that, is Virtue and Citadel. So they provide liquidity to everywhere. So it's not like it would make a huge impact to their business to do something like that to AMC. It's not like there's millions of orders going through every single day. Like, they provide liquidity across the board. So I don't think anything like that happens. I think the biggest thing market makers do is really provide liquidity to the wrong direction, right? So what a market maker's job is to essentially provide that liquidity. So if there's at a time and moment, or a moment in time, I said that backwards, a moment in time where nobody is actively on the markets trying to buy or sell a stock, what would happen to that stock? Well, if nobody's willing to buy that stock for a couple pennies difference, right, like a normal bid-ask spread, then you're going to see a dramatic drop in these share prices, or dramatic rallies, depending on where the lack of liquidity is. So that's what the market maker's main job to do is. So if they, kind of manipulate that by adding too much pressure to one side, right, when it's going up, they could add more buying pressure, or they could add more selling pressure, like right after a volatility halt. That's kind of where I see the market makers doing a lot of that manipulation, that shady shit, honestly. But there's other ways that they obviously manipulate the stock too, but I think the brokers actually, when it comes down to AMC, they love to make money off the stock. I think honestly the brokers, like your brokerage, even if you have a cash account, I personally believe that they will just lend out your stock anyways. Like, it doesn't even matter. Margin account, cash account, they're going to lend out their stock. Have you ever seen a share before in your life? Let me ask you that. No. The obvious question is no. You've never seen a real share in your life. All the brokerages have to do is let you buy and sell at the set price on the exchange. They really don't provide anything in that sense. That's my opinion, though. Like, I have no way to prove that. Do you track patterns at all? Do you think AMC is tracking another stock or a cycle? Well, I think AMC, GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond, those stocks kind of trade similar, and I know that's the obvious one there. And there has been times that AMC will track certain things, but right now I see it really just tracking the markets. But when I look at my portfolio of like Fubo, Lucid, SoFi, Square, PayPal, Snapchat, other stocks that I own, AMC over the past 2 trading days has done better than a majority of those stocks. So that kind of is its own pattern, I guess, for myself to look at those stocks and say, hey, they're down 5.5%, 6, 7, 8% today, and AMC's down 3.5%, 4.5%. It's kind of telling me something about the overall trend that we're seeing with AMC, that there is buyer stepping, and there's some reason why that is happening, when usually, right, AMC on good days will have really good days. On bad days, it's going to be like the worst performing stock in your portfolio. I think that's one of the biggest, I guess, patterns that I like to look at is just relative strength over other stocks that are in the same sector, like the Fubos, like even Square. You could put that one in there, like higher growth companies, because AMC, I mean, they're acquiring theaters, their business is getting back up and running. They're going to have higher growth here for the next couple of years, in my personal opinion. Could be wrong there. Obviously, I'm not a fortune teller. Fubo, SoFi, Lucid, they're all high growth companies. So if you're going to hold one up better than the other ones, it's kind of telling you something. Especially before earnings are already out. Like, none of these companies have reported Q1 2022 earnings yet, so there's not like a justifiable reason like that stock did good, we're gonna buy that stock more, right? Or, you know, more people flooding into that relative to another one. We're in that weird limbo period where you just, you know, you don't know the underlying fundamentals yet. So when you see those trends, it's something I like to pay attention to. What's up, everybody? Everybody, Shane Miller in the building. Market manipulators. Oh yeah. You guys ever notice these end of the day dumps that we're seeing? That's some shady shit, huh? It's like you can almost predict it. It's either going to be a sell-off into the floor or a sell-off into like the last hour of the day, and then you're gonna rip. That's usually how it's been over the past couple of weeks. Well, we do have the Fed this week. Keep that in mind, guys. We have the Fed, and that's going to be very important. Futures are super volatile for futures, and that's kind of weird to say, but they know this is the biggest play of the century. Oh, yeah, they're all making money. Bro, how can I trade options with $1,000? Easy. You could buy options for cheap options out there, but they have low probabilities of success. So if you have $1,000 and you've never traded options before, I would get a paper trading account first and foremost. And paper trading accounts are cool because you can do different strategies, find out what works, but you don't really get that effect of putting your own money on the line. And really, when you only have a couple $1,000, 10, 20,000, like, your emotions play a bigger role in options trading. Or maybe for the first couple of years, it's like, damn, I really don't want to lose this money. Like, I'm going to act a certain way. Maybe you get too aggressive, you get burned, and you start to invest differently or trade differently. And that's something that really only time can teach you. But that's one of the biggest things, is not letting your emotions get the best of you. Follow your plan and execute on that plan, and you should do well. But with $1,000, I mean, there's a lot of trades out there, but what I would have told you to do with $1,000  4 years ago, 5 years ago, when I first started trading options, is a lot different than what I would do now. Buy Bitnyle, going to squeeze soon. Not financial advice. I have some Bitnyle leaps, bro. I'm leaped up. I got 5 Bitnyle leaps. The 50-cent leaps. And I am down 23%, bro. I will take this squeeze whenever. I'm just playing. I'm chill with it. I'm chill with it. I got the January 19, 2024 50-cent leaps, like I said. I bought them for 69 cents a piece. I'm not worried about it at all. But these contracts are cheaper than where I bought them. When did I buy them? March 25th. So almost a month ago. Yeah. Really did not do too much today, but they did go up a little bit. So we'll take it. We'll take it. But Bitnyle, what kind of company is Bitnyle? Dang, a lot of you guys bought Bitnyle. Okay. Shane Miller, he said he bought 1,700 shares of Nile today. Average 68 cents. Bitnyle is basically like a holding company. They have real estate, which is their smallest sector. And I'm not like an expert on this company, so don't take my direct word for it, but I know a little bit about them. So they have the real estate sector, they have their crypto mining business, and I believe that's the one that they are spinning off. And what's the other ones that they have? They have two more. They have real estate, crypto, like a military branch that they like develop military equipment, something along those lines. And then another one, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, military defense products being deployed in international naval fleets. The Enertech segment focuses on the Middle East. The digital farm segment involves digital currency, blockchain mining. The IAM segment relates to restaurant operations. Maybe that's it, but Nile's one of those where it's like it's a $59 million market cap. So it's kind of like Mullen at $35 million. It's so cheap that it's just gotten beaten into the ground. So could it double from here? Could it triple, 4x? Probably pretty easily, especially last time I checked, they had a decently high short interest. Oh, they're not giving me data now. They interesting. Won't let me look now. But they did have a decent high short interest. The real catalyst with Nile and the reason I bought these leap options, these 2024 50-cent calls, is pretty much because they have they're spinning off the crypto sector. And when you have a holding company like that, it's not valued as high if you have like one sector that is doing well, right? Like their crypto segment, they're going to add like 80,000 miners this year, or that's what they're projecting. A number around there. It doesn't even matter for the sake of the trade. But they're doing that. So that side of the business is doing very well, whereas the real estate part, the other segments, they're not going to be doing as good. So it kind of hinders the growing part of their business, the crypto mining part. So actually, if you were to separate just the crypto part from Bitnyle, it would probably be worth more than its total market cap of the whole entire company, of 59 million. So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna spin off the company, and I believe you just get free shares, and if you own a certain amount, doesn't really matter. It's one of those catalysts where it's gonna be the hype. You play the hype, and you get out. I don't know if that's the reason why it's up today. I imagine 28.5% is the reason, but I don't know. The big rip is coming, guys, sooner than later. I think so. People were like, oh my God, so many people are mad about the video earlier. Oh my God. Ew. I'm like, dude. Some people just don't watch the video, though, so it's all right. But, yeah, I think a lot of signs are telling us that you are going to see another move to the upside, and I think it's going to be pretty damn exciting, especially after what we seen last time and that option activity. You really didn't even see that until the peak of the move. in AMC. Like, you didn't see $1 million orders going through really at all. You've seen a lot of smaller orders going through really until this 45% positive day. Like, you didn't see that kind of dollar amounts heading into single option orders. It just didn't happen. And now you're seeing it. I think it's kind of interesting. And you are at that technical level, but he said, can you talk to us gambling degenerates about earnings lotto plays this week? Oh yeah. Shoo. There's degenerate gambling, just earnings lottery trades. I mean, the thing is, you got to be prepared to lose all your money, obviously, when it comes to that. But oh, they just gave Bitnyle price target of 650. Oh, is that what it is? Okay, well, even better. Drive the price up until that catalyst comes, which should be here in the first half of 2022. Last I knew, if we look at the earnings that are coming up, my strategy and what I implemented today was trying to get free contracts to trade earnings. So essentially, and if you guys want to come join the group, I send out alerts, all of that in real time, all that good stuff. But this is what I did earlier, and this is what the strategy is, right? So I played the trend on Tesla. Look at Tesla again. What was the trend on Tesla? It was obviously to the upside, and I believe I got them in the morning or during this time. It doesn't even really matter. When you can confirm on, like, let's just look at the, because I'm not really gonna be one to be a degenerate gambler this earnings season, because things can go not in your favor very, very easily, and I think playing the momentum is the best way to do it this earnings season. But when you can get like confirmations of breakouts, right? Like, I like to use the 50-day, 100-day, and 200-day moving averages on the 1-minute candlestick chart. A lot of algorithms focus on those levels. So like, for an example, right? You fail to break these moving averages, the 200-day. This is going to be a bearish sign, especially this high wick candle comes straight down, a red candle right after that. Usually not a good sign. And then you come down, and then you finally get that gas, you break up, and these obviously changed a little bit, right? Because the market's closed and the stock is not moving anymore. But you head back up above the 50-day. That's going to be a bullish sign if you can hold the 50-day for a couple candles in a row, right? And you did that for what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, and then you finally broke above, right? Broke above the 200-day, came back down a little bit, and then you and then you broke above that, and then you went clear above that, right? That's your bullish confirmation. So you don't need to capture the whole move. You don't need to buy at the bottom. You just need to buy, in the middle at least, to capture enough of that move to make those options free. But there's a lot more to that actual scalping strategy, but it's very, very simple. And that's what we did with Tesla today. But what time was this actually? 10:03 a.m. I really don't like to trade in the first half an hour of the day, because you don't know what direction things are really going to go. They can turn around quick. And for these kind of more risky trades, I'm not a fan of that. But either way, bought 10 contracts, $83 a piece, $830 in that trade. And then by 10:16 a.m., I sold out. So what was that, like 15 minutes? 13 minutes? The stock was going crazy. It went up to $1.05. I sold 8 contracts for $842. I made $12 profit. I get to keep 2 Tesla $1,200 calls for earnings for free. And the worst case scenario is I lose my profit, which, fuck it. I would rather, looking at last earnings where we hit the Facebook puts doing this, not the Netflix ones. We should have played Netflix on the weakness, but I did not do that. There's a chance this could turn into a lot of money. If Netflix went to 1,300, had a 30% move after earnings, you're going to make 10 grand off of $182. So it would be really good. That's kind of the way that I like it. YOLO earnings short Netflix. I would be very careful shorting Netflix right now. I'm not as like I like Netflix as a service. Like I watch it all the time. They always come out with cool new things to watch. And that's usually a sign of, a good company. But when it comes down to earnings for Netflix, you got to keep in mind, Netflix got destroyed last earnings. Like destroyed, right? So it's still trading pretty rich. Let's do Yahoo. Let's do Yahoo Finance. They update their numbers quite often. Yeah, if you guys want to join the trading group as well, that's linked in the description. So I just want to see that. And there's been a lot of analysts that have revised down their earning expectations as well. But if you look at, PE ratio of about 30. So Netflix is in the same realm of something like Apple. I believe Apple's price to earnings ratio is about 23. Last I checked, 27. So they're about relative. So it's not that overstretched. Netflix usually trades at a much higher valuation than a lot of the other FANG stocks, right? Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Google, Netflix usually trades higher than those, but it's not right now. And it did get beat down last earnings, and there's not high expectations. When you're playing earnings, it comes down to what are the expectations? What is the market expecting? Now, if you get like in Netflix case, Wall Street is expecting 2.5 million subscribers gained, right? So that's the expectation. It comes in at expectation. Their margins are good. Everything else is good. The stock will hardly move. It'll move like 3% one direction or the other. You're going to lose on both sides of those option trades. Now, if Netflix comes in with 500,000 subscribers instead of 2.5 million, that's way under market expectations. The stock will likely drop a lot. If it comes in, let's say 3.5 million subscribers, the stock's probably going to move up 7 to 10%. If it comes in 5 million plus, the stock's going to move up 25%. That's kind of my estimate there, because the markets are going to go, whoa, we really underestimated this company. Things are looking hot over here in Netflix. We can't not reward this company for that kind of growth, especially right now. Like earnings, they have to be really good to impress investors, and they also have to be pretty bad to make it get worse once they're already at a low. Like if Netflix was at $700, this would be a totally different scenario, or even 500. Netflix is not. They're less than half of their all-time highs. So is it possible they drop? Yes, but your odds of getting like a Hail Mary 25% drop again, very, very, very unlikely. So if I were to YOLO anything on Netflix, believe it or not, I would probably buy calls. Not financial advice. Yeah, Netflix is going to be a neutral earnings watch, flat. Yeah, that's kind of what I expect. And the more these stocks drop heading into earnings, or even rally into earnings, if there is one that does, it kind of offsets the move. Like Netflix, they dropped 1% today. They did recover in after hours, but over the past week, in the last couple of weeks, it's not been good. So the markets have already priced in a lot of that negativity. Like, look, this is like a slide going straight down. Like if you draw a line, you could sled down this. It's pretty much straight down. Really down to these lows after the last earnings report. Pretty much at the same level, damn near at the same level. So it's already priced in a lot of bad. So it really has to be bad to get a big drop. So even if it's slightly good, the stock can rally. But I would bet on a neutral earnings. Definitely. But don't let me dissuade you. I mean, I don't know. I've been wrong before. But it's very rare that you get back-to-back, 20+% moves, and the premiums are going to be very high for this earnings season. Actually, Netflix does not have bad premiums, though. Like, these are still trading at $91 a piece. Yes, is it very unlikely Netflix goes to $1,200? One would argue that, sure, but is it impossible? Not really. For Netflix, or for Tesla, it's a pretty good YOLO trade, but premiums are high for a lot of things right now. Like, what is it? Oh my God, Intel. Anybody playing Intel? Those premiums are crazy. Ater is going to run more. Yeah, Condor could work if you think it's going to be flat. Yeah. Yep. Or even like a butterfly. I mean, if you want to do a butterfly on Netflix, that honestly might not be a bad way to do it. What would you want to target? Like, say like 360. Give it some room to the upside. Stocks have fallen a lot. You'll likely see a small bounce before you see a large drop heading into Apple earnings. So if I were to do this, let's say 360, right? So you want to target 360, buy. I'll just sell 365 and then sell, I do $5 out, go $5 under. Oh, you stupid mother effer. Damn Robin Hood. How did that not buy? $65. So, yeah, $51 could yield you about $450 profit if Netflix were to close around 360, and you're only risking $51, so that's almost 1,000% return. And that's basically betting that a stock will be pinned around a certain price. So you basically would make money on that if Netflix is between $355.50 and $364.50. But the risk to rewards on those are pretty attractive. But yeah, Ater. Yeah, that one is a mover. It's definitely got the retail activity, that's for sure. And I do have some trades on Ater. What do I have? Oh shit, I got 4 of them. I was only supposed to get 2. I got 4 of them, damn it. I don't care. I'll take it though. I'm up like 3.5%. I actually bought them earlier in the day too, which is interesting. So the contracts did not go up as much. I got the $10 calls. Only put like 170 on it. I was only going to put like 80 on it, 85. But Robinhood's scammers. And this one, it's really just retail momentum from what I can tell. There's really not any big catalyst or anything. But you are seeing a lot of call activity coming in from institutional investors, so that's good. Short interest is really, really high, and it doesn't look like shorts have covered at all. Like 40.96% short interest. That's one of the highest short interest I have seen in quite a while. Cost to borrow max 345%, the average 269%, the minimum 77%, utilization 100%, days to cover 1.38. It looks primed for a short squeeze, most certainly. And this stock ran from $7. Well, the low back here was like 230, or 225, April 24th, 2020, and the stock did run all the way to almost 50 by February. So it can move, but the question is, I mean, will the retail activity cause the shorts to cover? I don't know. It's definitely a good YOLO. Like, if I were Eric, I believe you said the Netflix YOLOs. I think you were joking, but if I were to YOLO on something, Ater does have pretty good YOLO prospects to it, but not financial advice. Obviously not a recommendation. You'll probably lose your whole portfolio. YOLOing my entire portfolio on options tomorrow. I'll see y'all on Wall Street Bets. I missed that one. That's a good one. That is a good one. I mean, go big or go home. Just be ready to go home, because statistically you're probably going to lose it all. Just, yeah, that's a tough one. I've been there though. I've lost before, and I'm just, yeah, it can really mess with your psyche though. Seriously. I want to I put my money where I want to put my money. Yeah, there we go. At least holder of the shares understands. That's it. Dumping it all in Ater. It does look good. It does. I can't lie on that one. I mean, it's a pretty beautiful setup here for, say, 100% day. Take this thing from 6 to 12. Very possible, in my personal opinion. Like, very possible. I don't know about 50. That's a little bit stretched. But, I mean, anything's possible. You're going to be the new, what's that guy's name? Roaring Kitty? Is that his name? Am I saying that right? It's been a while since the GameStop stuff happened. You know what I'm saying? Eric's going to be the new Roaring Kitty. He's going to bless us. No, I did have that before, though. Somebody did hit a big trade off of, I guess, something I said, and gave me like $600 on the live stream. I was like, wow. You are generous, my friend. How does IMPP look to you? Oil is dumping, but this one always seems to lag. Interesting. If it's one of those like high flyer ones, I guess you could say. Oh yeah, it is. What's going on? Is it OTC? Is it OTC? Where's the earnings report? No, it's on the NASDAQ. Q1 20. I don't know why it says that. It only has the Q1 numbers. So that's weird. That might be why. I mean, if they don't report earnings like that. But it looks like it has low volume. Like really low volume. 107,000 shares. Yeah, super, super low volume. So that could be why. It could be why. I don't know, though. I'm kind of confused where the earnings are. Usually you'll see a quarterly earnings thing. But not here. Watch coin calls tomorrow or puts. If you guys can, that's one of these easiest trades to hit. BTC will get a nice pump when you can easily just grab some weak contracts, 5% out the money, and then bank. Promise. Not financial advice. Oh, IMPP. IMPP. Say that fast a couple times. Is that not the one I was looking at? Oh. Oh, jeez. My bad, bro. Imperial Petroleum. Yeah, it did just see a big rally, though. That might kind of be why. When you do get these high flyers that can move really big, unless it's Occidental Petroleum, then that thing just does not care. You can get that kind of momentum kill. Let's call it that. Where, like, look at some of the stocks in June, like BBBY or Wish or something else, Wendy's that rallied last time, just does not play along at all during these latest momentum moves. So you can kind of get that effect going on. That's what I would imagine, but yeah, because that thing moved crazy. Crazy. Yeah, I don't know though. Yeah, called volume exhaustion. Yeah. To Arizona and meet my Pharaoh Kitty, Miss Kitty. Pharaoh Kitty. Man, my mom loves cats. She says she's gonna be the angry cat lady. I'm like, okay, Mom. Okay. It's good though. Is a butterfly a call put call? It's selling. So basically buying one call, selling two calls, and then buying one more. So you want to buy, in my case, for just an example, I did a 355 call on Netflix, bought one, sold two 360 calls, and then bought one 365 call. So it's 1, 2, 1. But the way you put it in on a Robinhood affects kind of how it looks. Yeah, butterfly's the name of it. Kind of because how, it's 1, 2, 1. I don't know why it's called that, but they are decent. I mean, I hit like a 800% trade on butterflies. Like, you can make a lot of money on these if you do hit them, but you need the stock within a $10 range to make money at all. But your worst case scenario is you lose your money you put in, so it's not any additional risk on top of what your total cost is. But some of those during that volatility that we seen on the SPY not too long ago, the S&P 500, those butterflies went crazy, went nuts. I like condors as they give a bit more room but less profit. Yeah, if you can be like consistent with that, that's really good too. I mean, can't argue with that. Futures, Nasdaq up 0.41%, S&P up 0.26%, Dow up 0.18%. It's looking good. Believe in your mother. My mother is 81. She'll probably outlive me. Oh man, I hope my mom does outlive me. I can't go on without my mom. She's gotta outlive me. Ain't no choice. She's healthy as hell though. Probably will. Life is like a box of condominiums. Oh my god. What the hell? What? You never know what size you're gonna get. Wow. Funny joke, bro. Funny joke. That is kind of funny. Any ladies in here? Is that funny? I'm just playing. That's probably more of a guy joke. A screw Robin Hood, everyone has got my money in Weeble and JP Morgan. I think they all suck, to be honest. Like, I think all brokerages are doing the same shit. Like, I think they're all lending out stock multiple times. Could be wrong. Some might not be, but I think they do. I think they do. Yeah, so it's good. It's good. It's good. I saw 2 different calls, not 2 of 1 strike. Yeah. Yeah, you can get a little wild with those things. Like, you can get crazy with those. I don't really want to do it right now because I don't want to instill any gambler that might be hidden inside of people. But you can get absolutely wild with some of those trades that could make a lot of money, but you could also lose like an unlimited amount of money, which I would never do. Especially now, like selling unsecured calls, stuff like that too is just out of my realm. I don't like to do anything that has an undefined risk. Like if I do something, I like to have at least a max loss on it. Like buying a butterfly, my max loss is what I put into it. Or buying an option, my max loss is what I put into it. My money is not making me nothing in my savings account. That's it. Yeah. That's 100% right. A lot of people, they're just afraid of investing, and banks love that. Because what are they going to do? They're going to go invest your money in 100 dividend stocks that pay them an average of 2, 3, 4, 5%, whatever the number is, usually around 2 to 4%. And they're going to pay you 0.5% or 1%, whatever it is. And then they're going to pocket the difference. Why do you think banks make so much money? It's because people give it to them. I try to keep as little money as possible in a bank account. Like besides what I need, a lot of it goes to investments or to like rental property stuff. Saving for another rental right now. If the rates didn't shoot up to 5.5% and housing prices, the prices are still ridiculous. Like they have not went down basically at all. Look at that headline. China's property sector could be turning around, but red hot growth may be a thing of the past. That's bullshit. They're lying. They're sandbag. They're just man. I think that could be the biggest lie of 2022 so far. To point out one. Like, dude, that is not turning back. And then Ukraine says Russia's offensive in the Donbass has started. Now, one thing that I do want to point out to you guys, I wouldn't trade based off of this. I don't have any trades based off of this. Besides, I do have some Apple debit spreads, and we can take a look at those here just quickly. Some Apple debit spreads, I'm down about 18.73%. I did go larger on these because I believe in the overall bearish thesis on Apple. And I actually made this trade a while ago, and I averaged down on it April 14th. When did I make this trade, dude? Forever ago. It's not even coming up. Like March? Around there, I think. Like early March. So I've been in this a while. So this is really the only trade that I have that could incorporate this. But with all the talks about a nuclear attack or a chemical weapons attack, a tactical one, it wouldn't be like a Hiroshima or Nagasaki. But if that were to happen during this offensive or something, you could look at a very, very down day. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. You don't want to have too much exposure one direction or the other. Yeah, because their daytime is our nighttime. So by the time you could even react to it, we would likely open a lot lower. But just something to keep you in the back of your minds. Not to go crazy on, but just be mindful of. Thank God for everything you got. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all one big club and we ain't in it. Exactly. Instead of drinks or drugs or girls, though, it's shares. They're like, we got shares over here, bro. What you need? We got AMC. We got GME. They're like, we got some Tesla over here, and they're like, this is the real deal. This is the real deal. You want to get yourself some of that. It's just, we're just not at the club. Houses are cheap in Flint. Yeah, I don't live in Flint anymore. Flint is, man, gotta be the, like, I don't know how it could get worse. Like you can't walk down the street. Like people are getting shot and killed in their own cars from people mistaking their vehicles for another like gang member and just shooting, like not even gonna like see if it's them. They're just gonna shoot you first, and they're shooting the wrong cars. Oh man, it's terrible. It's not funny. Like, I don't know. Some things are just burn it down. Burn it the fuck down. The whole city. I'd love to put my money into a bar, but would be my best customer. Yeah. That is that's true. That's true. Would be my best customer. Yes. I would go to your bar. It's all right. It's all right. I'll be a good customer too. Not all dividend stocks hold their share price. Sometimes you are paid to bag hold. Yes, it's called a value trap or dividend trap. A lot of stocks, they will perform bad too. With a dividend. Like, a dividend's all fine and dandy, but it's not going to be the sole reason why somebody with a lot of knowledge, like a pension fund or a mutual fund or something that relies on dividend income, is going to buy the stock. If the underlying business is shit, is bad, they're still not going to buy the stock. With dividend stocks, you need to have stability. That's number one. If there's not stability in the business and you're paying out like 95% of all your income to a dividend, that's a value trap. You don't want that. Like, anything over like 80% payout ratio is not good, and that's still high. Preferably you want to get something that's like 50% if you can, if not lower than that, but some of those are hard to find lower than 50%. What are some other qualities? Like, you don't want to get a dividend stock that has a declining business model that is getting worse and worse every single year. What I like is personally, if I'm going to go for a dividend stock, like a Coca-Cola or something that has staying power that's not going to go away. Coca-Cola, Pepsi for a little bit more of that growth side, more snacks with Pepsi. And then really pharmaceuticals, because yes, those stocks can fluctuate, but who's going to stop getting their prescriptions from Abivai or from Bristol Myers or Pfizer or something else? It's not going to happen. Like, they will be fine. Like Abivai, I own 2 dividend stocks. This one, I'm just getting a dividend, $32. I haven't added to this in quite a while, but it's just free. I dividend reinvest. I'm not even going to think about selling it for a very long time. I'm up 55.5%, right? $1,300, and I've collected a couple $100 in dividends. But they keep increasing their dividend as well. So I really like Abivite. Even at these prices, you still get a 3.27% return. And they own Humira, the world's best-selling drug of all time, and they own Botox. These ladies are not going to stop getting Botox. That's my mindset, you know. Like, Botox is like big in Cali, but that shit has not even hit Michigan yet. Some girls need Botox. I need Botox. I'm just playing. Nobody really needs Botox. People do it for like migraines and stuff too. I was just playing. Females, don't attack me, females. I love you. I love you more than the males sometimes, you know. But yeah. Bank charge fees for everything, even not having money. Yeah, terrible. Like years ago, right? This might have been like when I first got a bank account. Maybe I was like 15 or 16 or something along those lines. And I had money in my account, but somebody told me like, yo, you should switch your money around. So I don't know if I took it from checkings to savings. I believe that's what I did. And then I was playing this game, and I was buying like these $1, $2 things for like an in-game purchase, and I did it like 7 times, and apparently it doesn't it doesn't go out of wherever the money is. Like, my logic was, it's in the bank, they're gonna take it out of whichever one. I didn't know like checkings and savings. Yeah, so I had to pay like $200, and I like disputed it. I was pissed off, and they said, there's nothing we can do for you. We can take off like 2 of them, but you're still gonna have to pay. It was like $200, like 35, just over and over again. I'm like, you guys are some grade A assholes, bro. It was not fun. Did Flint ever get water? Yeah, Flint always had water, but it actually made me like get like psoriasis. It was the weirdest thing. Like my legs, like everywhere besides the no zone had like psoriasis, like plaquey psoriasis, and I've never had that before, and I haven't had it since. It was from the lead water. I had to start tanning and like putting olive oil and shit on my legs. I had to go to the doctor. There's actually a like a sediment they did for like 400 million that's gonna give it out to people that had issues with it, and I was one of them. So I'm in that. But if I get money, I'm literally just gonna donate it. I'll probably make a video just giving it to like homeless person or something, or buying some. I'll save it to Christmas, and then find somebody that could use it and get them some cool stuff, if anything comes out of it. But so persist, Tyler, but I love the yak. Just so be patient and hear me out, so I'll stop sooner or later. Trust me, I broke my neck. I had neck surgery. I have titanium plates in my neck. Life goes on. You must live it. Oh yeah, you better pay goddamn attention, cause Flint is just one example. I've lived in Michigan. I've been there long before you were born. Trust me. Don't trust your... Yeah. No. Yeah, Flint is not good. Not good. And I stay far away from there as much as possible. I gave her gas, I gave her change, I gave her a bunch of money to help her out because I know in the long run it's only going to help me. Yeah, have you guys ever had like instant karma? Like you did something wrong and then you instantly had something bad happen to you? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that'll change you real quick. I remember when I was young that happened to me. I'm like, God really does exist. He just fucked me up. Nah, I'm a big believer, but I don't know. Anyone in on Kuma Inu? Never heard of it. I imagine it's a crypto though, right? What? 12 million market cap. That's interesting. A 12 mil, that's stupid small. I mean, for a YOLO, I would consider it, but I wouldn't put a lot of money into it. I'm personally not. Of course God exists. Yes, yes. Oh, I've it's grown. It's grown. You know, I guess I don't know. I don't know. Had a we've all had pretty messed up lives, but when super bad things happen to you and you did nothing to it, you kind of question stuff, and I think that's pretty common. You know, like dad died uh, December 20th, 2015, and then my brother died December 11th, 2016. And that was my best friend, and I'll never find anybody else like that. We were 11 months apart and all that. So when those kind of things happen back to back, lost the girl that I thought I was in love with at the time, which, it's like, why does at the same time, like, she left me on my dad's brother's funeral. So it's like, I don't know. I guess you do tend to question things after stuff like that happens to you, but all things work out in time. We are not here in this chat room for no reason, baby. You are not into financial education for no reason. That's a fact. That is a fact. Dev team is releasing Kuma deck soon. I put nothing but earnings into it. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. I mean, with stuff like that, you can make a lot of money just playing with profits. Sanji Inu, what the hell? This thing is up like 1,000. Is that like 1,000%? What has happened? They're so sketchy, but they're so enticing. Like, who is trading this? Interesting though. I really only buy Ethereum, and I do have that Ethereum Classic from way back. And I own Elon coin, Dogelon. Is it Dogelon? I only put like $50 into it though. I'm like, if it does something, great. If it doesn't, great. And it probably won't, so I don't know. Hey, look, Tyler, my sister murdered in 1984 by her husband. Don't dwell on it, it'll eat you up. Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, the court process, I mean, was like a lot. Like, it just ended in November was the last sentencing. Doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. Yeah, you just become more numb. I need therapy, honestly, but it's all right. It's all right. Sorry to hear that, bro. My dad died when I was 5, and I'm 23 now. Things get better. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, you know, we're all gonna have our time. It's all right. It's all right. Try to stay focused. Try to stay focused, but hey, did you check out the final Kennewick on AMC at market close? Dark pool share release. Shares released. I don't know. These happen sometimes. Usually it's in after hours though. Like it's very common to see that in after hours. Not really in regular trading. Like you can see these candles on Apple. From my understanding, a lot of like it when that happens is kind of like market makers how do you say it? They don't catch like the liquidity stream, right? Because there's always going to be like a buyer and a seller. If even for 1 second they're late to being that other side of the transaction, then you can get stuff like that. But I don't know. That's an interesting last 1 minute candle. Because I mean, you wouldn't expect to see that on a heavily traded stock like AMC. Like you see that in after hours a lot. You don't see that in regular trading all too often. Like it happens sometimes, but like look at Apple. Like you're not going to find that. Like you're going to have to go through a lot of different stocks to find something like that during normal market hours. So that's honestly very interesting. Very, very interesting. Those dangerous stocks are like fast women. You know it's not good, but you want to try. Yeah. I can relate. I can definitely relate. Makes you stronger. I should be able to bench press a Buick. Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. Said bench press a Buick. Have you ever tried? Say that. So I need therapy too. Maybe I should take her advice. I got a smart man like Einstein, but I'm probably insane. Yeah, I think we're all a little insane. You know, just a little. Like some people are yeah, just different, but we love them all. We love them all. I'm just like more of the implosion kind of I don't know. It's weird. But my daughter definitely helps with a lot of that. She's definitely the best thing that's ever came along. Motions has a leg up next week. What do you think? Trading with Is that a question? Trading with emotions has a leg up next week. What do you think? I don't even know how to answer that. Wow. That's a good one. You got me stumped. I mean, no, like more people than not trade with emotions, especially go big on positions, will blow up their account and be sorry, mad they ever did that. Now, sometimes, I mean, if you just got like thousands to sit around and you literally don't care, like you won't be mad after, sometimes you can hit a lot of money, but if you do that over and over again, you will lose. So that's more of like you risk the farm and you have no farm, or you risk the farm and you make a mansion type of deal, and you do it like once. But generally speaking, never a good idea to trade with emotions. But that's an interesting one. because there's going to be a lot of volatility and there's going to be earnings that are definitely some surprisers. But keep in mind, the more these stocks go down, even if I'm bearish on them, like Apple, I'm bearish on Apple. But if Apple goes to, let's say, 155 by their earnings next week, I can't be bearish on it at that price. So even if I have a bearish thesis, it really depends on what the stocks do heading into earnings, right? So like Netflix, they're down so much. I'm not necessarily super bullish on Netflix, especially as people are spending more money on services instead of goods. They're kind of going out and doing things. Delta said they just had their best travel week ever. Even if I have a bearish thesis, the more the stock goes in my favor, the more the stock goes down, the less bearish I can be, right? You don't want to necessarily fight the trend. If something's not good, then it's probably gonna stay not good until there's a reason for it to get better. But when you're talking about earnings, usually if you've already dropped, in Netflix case, for an example, I'm picking on them, but they've dropped like 50% from the highs, and it's not a bad company. I mean, Netflix is not a bad company at all. They have $29 billion of revenue in what is it? Where is it? $29 billion of revenue in 2021, and they made like $5 billion in profit. So it's not a bad company. But I just don't think it's Netflix time to shine until they get that emerging markets growth. We'll see, though. But the lower it goes, the less bearish that I can be. You definitely don't want to bet on a stock continuing to drop after it's already dropped a lot. Usually that's begging for disaster. Some days the depression really gets to me. I'm sure it goes to you too, but just know they're looking down on us. They want to see us succeed and be happy. Yeah, I try to put myself in the perspective, like what would I want, how would I feel, and I try to look at things like that. I am flabbergasted at what Robinhood did to me with the Tesla calls today. Straight trash. Oh, it's terrible. The stop losses on Robinhood are like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely terrible. You can contact Robinhood though, and I believe it's 24 hours a day, so you could even likely do it right now. Nico, you could call them and just ask like what happened. Like I don't get it. Depending on where your stop loss was, that can make a difference. Like if your stop loss was at like 80 or whatever the price is, I don't know what they had dropped to. What did they actually drop to on the day? If you got the same ones as I did, I mean, they had dropped to, yeah, no, that probably shouldn't have happened. Yeah, that probably shouldn't have happened. Filled at 10:03 a.m., right? Sold out at 10:16 a.m. Yeah, 0.83. It doesn't look like they really went down after that. It looked like they were pretty much going straight up. So I would personally contact them and just ask like what the hell happened. Is there any way you guys could basically make it right? And they will if it was their fault. And I've had a lot of troubles with it too. Like they've completely dude, I've put a stop loss on, straight through. I've literally sat there and watched the stop loss price. So let's just say Tesla for here, 90 cents, $90. I've watched it go straight through. I've watched the bid, go to 90. I've watched somebody willing to pay 90, and that's where my stop loss is, and it wouldn't stop me out. It just kept going. And then I refreshed, and it's like I'm still in the trade. So it's their bullshit. I would contact them personally because that was a nice gain, dude. And they will, somewhat. Yeah, it was at 116. That's Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely contact them because if anything, they might pay you out the profit there because, um, Robinhood at this stage, they can't afford to lose any more customers like that. Like that's a simple fact. Even something like Robinhood, right? Like we've talked about it in the trading group for full transparency's sake that Robinhood, even though I hate the business, it's terrible business and they do bullshit like that. If I were to look at Robinhood right now around earnings, it's like how it's hard to think the stock would drop substantially from here when it already has. So that's something you guys just need to be mindful of when you're trading around earnings. Catalyst. If a stock is already down substantially, the odds are not in your favor that it will continue to fall because the markets are constantly pricing things in. But after all, I was making videos how I was going to short Robinhood at $40 per share. And I wish I bought leaps. I wish I had like the $35 puts and just held them. Coincidentally, I've been missing my dad all day. It's almost been 2 years, and I'm total daddy's girl. That's not good. That's not good. Sorry to hear that. Hopped on to distract myself and came into all the feels. Did I miss the food talk? No, we have not talked about food today. We have not. I'm actually surprised. We could talk about food though. That man, this Wendy's salad, right? I've been like addicted to it. They're expensive. They're like it's like $8. It's got like the lettuce, romaine, and all that. It's got grilled chicken, dried like cranberries, like salted or sugared pecans. They're sweet. Apple slices, blue cheese. Is there anything else in there? Yeah, blue cheese. I think that's it. But then they give you this pomegranate like vinegar dressing. So good. That's the best salad ever. You guys gotta try it. It will break the bank, but oh my god. If like apples, chicken, lettuce, dried cranberries, blue cheese, and pomegranate vinegar, you would not think that would be a great combination, but it's slapping. Like it's honestly better than hitting a trade. And that says a lot. Do you think AMC is going to squeeze anytime soon? I personally think like end of summer, fall time is where conditions will be primed to see a short squeeze. Because why have we not seen the MOS yet? Simple answer here. It's because there has been too much money out there. You're not going to cover on a short position when you're substantially down on it if you have enough money to service a margin call. Now, what turns a margin call into them actually covering? Well, it's when they don't have enough money to service that margin call. Then their brokers, the banks will forcefully cover those positions because all they care about is getting their money back plus their interest. That's all they care about. Or at the very least, at least getting their money back. That's all they care about. So that's the real difference with that whole equation. Now, what has been happening over the past year? Well, there's been funny money everywhere. Like, why would you ever cover on a short position when you can go to a bank as a hedge fund, likely get a short-term loan for 1.5% to 2%? Why would you do that? Like, you could find 1,000, not literally 1,000, but you could find a lot of different ways to make a good return on that and still cover on your short position. Like, you'd be just fine. Like, that's why put your money in a savings account when it pays you 0.5% or 1% when you can go invest it in Abivi that pays you 3.2%, right? Now, if a savings account pays you 5%, I'm going to put my money in the savings account instead of Abivi, right? Same concept there. Just different ballparks, I guess you could say. So that's the real difference. Now, what are we going to see here in the next 6 months? Well, you're going to see a lot of tightening. The federal funds rate monitor tool is pricing in 50 basis point rate hikes. The May meeting, June meeting, July meeting, September meeting, November, December, all of these. You're pricing in 50 basis point rate hikes. So you're going to see rates, about 0.75 to 1%, 1.25 to 1.5, 2 to a quarter, 2.75 to 3% by September. By the September meeting, you're roughly going to be at about 3% for the rate, which is more heading towards the neutral rate, right? And at the same time, bonds are still going to keep getting destroyed. There's really no end in sight for the bonds. They're going to fluctuate a little bit like you're seeing with the futures, but that's hardly a move down. Like the bond yields look like a momentum stock. The bond yields. So when yields go up, the price of bonds go down. So if you have your assets back to the safest, or I should say, if you have your short positions backed to the safest asset in the world, which is 10-year treasury bonds, and those bonds are going down dramatically in value because you thought they would be more stable, then you're losing a lot of money. Now, it's like you're maxed out on margin in your portfolio. Your portfolio starts to drop. Your margin levels start to go up until you get to that margin call level. So that's a big deal because the bond market is about 9 to 10 times larger than the stock market. That Americans own $55 trillion of bonds. Did you know that? $55 trillion worth of bonds. So, not so good. Not so good when bond prices go down so dramatically. So, essentially, you only get paid back your initial investment in a bond after 10 years. You'll get paid out the interest that you got, like whatever it was, 2.7% or 1.5%. You'll get paid out that. But in the meantime, if you have to liquidate your bond, you have to sell it at fair market value, and that's about 50% less, 45% less. So in that regard, it's going to be a lot harder to remain in short positions when around that time. And that's the difference. That's really the big difference. Like, let's even go back to August or June 2021. Yeah, the rates were only 1.44%. Like, very, very low. Very low. About what they were in December as well. The rates have went parabolic since then. Doubled at 1.4% now to 2.85%. And if you guys want to monitor the actual bond prices, at least one of them that trades on the markets, and that will be TLT, the 20-year Treasury bond. And I mean, it's went straight down. Like it's nosediving right now. Yep. So yeah, if you have your assets back to these Treasury bonds, pretty soon here, and I mean, if it hasn't already gotten really bad for you, it's going to get very bad very shortly. I love Chewy. Invest your money, and that's not legal advice. I made it. Hit the like. Eric Cuddle in the building. Let's go. I don't invest in that kind of crap. I only invest in companies I believe in that are structurally sound. Yeah. I don't either. It's just not a wealth building tool. It's more like a wealth preservation tool. The only reason I would ever buy a bond necessarily is if I wanted more stability in a $1 billion+ portfolio. That's it. And it would be a very small amount. It's kind of like buying gold or silver. Like if you hold it for 10 years, you'll get paid out your interest along the way, and then you'll get paid out the amount at which you purchased your bond for. You'll get paid back like the $150 if that's what you bought it for. 10 years from now, the TLT is at $50. You'll still get paid out $150, but you would have collected that interest along the way. Now, If you don't got 10 years and you got to sell it, you take a massive loss. So it's more so for capital preservation than anything. Or during times of uncertainty, people flood into bonds, and these can be some of the best trades that you could ever hit. I mean, TLT is very cheap to trade. Like back in 2020, I hit this trade not on as big of a scale as I wanted to. It was like $30-$40 into like $3-4 grand. Like it wasn't, it could have been a lot better. Still, $30-$40 into $3-4 grand, not bad, like a 10,000% return, but it could have been better if I traded it better. But you can kind of see when things are getting shaky in the overall market and there's a lot of fear, these bond rates will go up because people want safe assets. They want to preserve their wealth. And that's exactly what happened in here. So pretty interesting. But yeah, that's the long answer to why I think the squeeze will likely happen end of summer, fall time. That's when you're really going to get that liquidity that is super restricted. Like nobody's going to be willing to bail out another hedge fund at that time. It's not going to happen. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get my happy ass out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate all of you guys. Holder of the shares, Eric, Cuddle, Nico, Vlog, all of you guys. I do appreciate all of you. And yeah, if you guys want to come trade with us in real time every time I make a trade, link down below in the description of this video. Like the video. Don't short the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Get your free stocks, Weeble, Moo in public if you guys want to. It's free money. It's there if you guys want to. I stopped talking about it because it's there if you want to, and you guys already know about that by now. So appreciate you guys again.